the fourth game of a 6-game swing against the Midwest Division. And tonight, Robert, just before the ball clubs got set to tap it off, we find out that Robert Parrish might not be playing because of back spasms. What does that do to this ball game?
Well, it worries the heck out of Bill Fitch.
Sure does.
You saw him come out of that locker room late. He was obviously concerned, and naturally it's wanted. In this particular game in Boston, he started Robert on Elvin Hayes, the forward, who is instant offense. However, he shoots a very low trajectory shot, and I think he felt that probably the matchup was better. Robert with the long reach could give him problems, and he put Larry Bird on the center, Caldwell Jones. Now tonight, depending on who he starts, I think if he goes with Roby as a starting center, he'll put Roby on Caldwell and let Larry Bird try to cope with Hayes. Hayes can, as I said, produce a lot of offense for you, but they don't get it into him enough. He's only averaging 13 a game. He's leading the team, but once the shooters get in, they start bombing from outside, and they really don't go to their inside game enough, I don't feel.
Well, here's a team, Bob, that's averaging only 94 points a game offensively. They've lost 26 out of 30 games. They've lost 7 in a row. They haven't won a game in 2.5 weeks. Normally, the Celtics come in to a situation like this. They're 23-8, same record they had as a year ago at this time. Houston's 4-26. Normally, you would suspect that they might have a difficult time getting their engines revved up to play a team with a record like that. But with the absence of Parrish, that changes, doesn't it?
I think it does, and I think in that sense, that might become a positive factor. Obviously, it might get their attention. Now they've got to dig in a little bit more, where they might have had the tendency to be a little complacent after an easy win in Boston.
All right, we'll get back to chat more about this one in just a little bit. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright scars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free? And the home of the brave.
Michael White with our national anthem here in Houston at the Summit. And starting lineups are about to be introduced. And we'll tell you right now that Robert Parrish will not be starting for the Celtics. In his place, Robert, mon ami, will be Rick Roby. He brings in his 4.5 rebounds and 5 points per game average in as the starting center tonight against the Rockets. There's Rick, finding out just before tap-off that he was to start tonight at center because of back spasms. It suddenly popped up in Robert Parrish. Now, what does the presence of Roby starting in place of Parrish make for the Celtics?
As we started to say, I think you're going to see probably Roby match up with Caldwell Jones, and that's not too bad. Caldwell, you know, has difficulty with anything past 2 or 3 feet from the basket or a dunk shot, although occasionally he can go out there and hurt you. In fact, he did.
You remember the playoff game?
The playoffs when he was with Philadelphia. But that's, you know, that's unusual. Normally, you've got to keep him off the boards. He works hard, fine defensive player, good role player, but you don't have to worry about him too much offensively. So now the responsibility defensively will shift over to Larry Bird, who, with Parrish in there, would have been guarding Caldwell, and therefore able to concentrate on his own offense and not worry about defensing Caldwell. Now he's, I think, if he matches up against Elvin, obviously will have to find him early, and now the thrust of his attention has to be on Elvin Hayes, who, as we said, can produce a lot of points in a hurry for you if they're giving him the ball.
Well, coming in, the Rockets are 4-26 on the season. They've lost 7 in a row. They have not won a game in their last 2.5 weeks of play. The Rockets Rockets, coming into this one, have gone over 100 points only 7 times on the season. And a real telling statistic, Bob, they've been out-rebounded 22 times in their first 30 games. So obviously, this is a franchise in a great deal of trouble. When you are not a franchise, because the franchise remains solid. Well, even though they've had a terrible season, they're averaging over 8,000 fans. So the people have been relatively patient here in Houston. But it's a team that is obviously going nowhere. And
well, they hope
team
so.
that
they're involved in the Ralph Sampson sweepstakes. So, you know, their difficulty, if all of that occurs, will be momentary. It's possible. As we talked to, we'll be talking to Ray Patterson at halftime. It was pre-tape, but in any event, they could end up with the 1 and 2 choices next year. If Ewing comes out, which is not for sure, but in the event he did, you know, they could end up with Sampson and Ewing and be in good shape in a hurry again.
There's the starting 5 for the Houston Rockets. Wally Walker starting at 1 forward. Walker averaging 8.5 points a game. Elvin Hayes, he's their leading scorer, averaging only 13.8 as their top scorer and 8.5 rebounds.
That's a surprise, by the way. I think that's Walker's first start this year.
Caldwell Jones starting at center, averaging 9 points and 7.5 rebounds, 30 block shots. Hayes is 41. The guards, the biggest starting guard in the NBA, Joe Bryant, 6'9", 218 pounds, averaging 10 points a game. And there's Alan Level, pretty good little playmaker, averaging 5 assists a game, almost 13 points. There's Del Harris, and he leads the team in steals with 59. He's also their best three-point shooter at 20 out of 71. Celtics countering with Buckner, Ainge. There are referees, Terry Durham on the left, Wally Rooney on the right. The Celtics starting with Ainge and Buckner at the guards, Roby in the middle, Bird and Maxwell up front. How about the play, Coos, over the last 10 games or so of Danny Ainge, who has really started to come on?
Well, Danny has just, you know, kind of reached the potential that all of us felt he had and was going to get to in a hurry when he joined the team last year. He got it a little slow getting it in gear, but I'll tell you what, and I think we called it that exhibition game against L.A. and Hartford right there. The second time he came in after a mediocre first quarter, and the lid came off for him, and all of a sudden everything else started to fall in place, and he's just been going steadily uphill ever since. And you know, it's just a question of what level he can reach and sustain, whether he can be a great all-star guard or just a solid good player. But I'll tell you, he's got the potential to do it all.
Nice feed from Bird to Ainge, missed the shot, partially deflected, and Houston controls the rebound. Joe Bryant nearly decapitated his own teammate Caldwell Jones.
Yeah, nice play. Danny rushed the layup a little bit. He saw Elvin come in. Elvin can reject.
He's got 41 blocks.
You know, they're talking about him being over the hill, and granted, he's been around for a while, but still have his moments. And if they go into him, as they did quickly there, Larry Bird's going to have his hands full.
Oh, Elvin Hayes scores the first hoop of the game, and the Rockets lead 2-0. A crowd of about, I'd say, 10, 11,000 tops here in Houston tonight. Roby in the middle trying to go past Caldwell Jones, and the blocking foul called by Terry Durham on Caldwell Jones. First foul of the game as you look at it again.
Caught everybody by surprise there. He was fronting Roby high, and Roby wheeled in, but ran into Caldwell.
All right, Ainge and now Buckner and Bird as the Celtics make the swing of the ball. Cedric Maxwell, who's had some big games in the last week and a half, ties the game at 2. Opening seconds of play here at the Summit in Houston. Probably, Coos, the most beautiful basketball building in the league.
Not a bad seat in the house. Elvin just kind of moved Bird out of there, picks up his first foul. Max, I think, is developing a sky hook. That's well, he really gave it the full sweep on that baseline job he just knocked in.
All right, 2-2 is our score. 10:49 left. We're in the first quarter, and we've got a whistle inside and a foul on Maxwell. We've had 4 fouls called in the first minute and 13 seconds of play.
Well, there was
one of those nights.
Trouble in Boston between Bryant and Bird. First time I've ever seen Larry really retaliate, frankly. He let a few go.
Steal by Bird.
At Bryant. So, I don't know, maybe the word's out. Maybe the officials are calling him a little closer here in the first quarter, trying to tell the boys to behave for the game.
Game off to a sluggish start. Joe Bryant from LaSalle, line drive jumper. Ainge trying to trigger the fast break. The pull-up for Danny. Didn't even hit the rim on that one. Danny had the first couple of shots a little rough.
Yeah, he's rushing his offense just a bit. And I'll tell you, Bryant's done it all now in this league. He played center for a while with San Diego when Walton was hurt last year. Then his normal position is forward. Now he's starting at guard tonight. I haven't seen him play guard.
Elvin Hayes on the miss, and the rebound to Roby. Buckner, now Ainge on the wing. Danny, nice feed to Bird for 2.
Good job. He looked the defense off Max, who was standing in that left lane, and that was just enough to give Larry the opening. Good play created by Ainge.
Our first telecast of the new year. Happy New Year to you all. Nice to be back. We'll have all 3 games in Texas this week here on Channel 4. Tonight and then Friday night in San Antonio, Saturday night in Dallas. Caldwell Jones. Maxwell the rebound. And a foul on Elvin Hayes.
Well, that's 2 on Elvin. Obviously, they don't want to get him in trouble. He's about the only man inside that can produce any consistent offense for them.
Second on the team. Buckner for the Celtics, and now Bird. They're leading 4-2. Maxwell trying to work on Hayes, is doubled up, and the steal by Joe Bryant.
Max a little careless there. Houston, good job doubling up inside quickly, and got the ball in there. You've got to expect it. Just about every team in the league drops their guards in quickly to double. They'll get the outside shot. And, man inside's got to be ready for it.
Rebound to the hands of Bird. He goes around Joe Bryant nicely. Missed the shot. I don't know if it was a shot or a pass. Maxwell, and the rebound to Elvin Hayes.
Celtics being very careless offensively here in the early going.
Do the Rockets take you out of your own game?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You figure you can score whenever you make up your mind to, and that, you know, as I said, they don't shoot well.
Oh, collision. Roby and Lovell, and then Quinn Buckner. The foul is on Rick Roby. If we look at that one again, it's rather a thunderous foul.
Here it is. Roby doesn't have his eye on the ball. Bird passes it to him. As we've said before, whenever you're on offense, and especially when you're going down floor, you've got to know where that ball is. By the time he became aware of it, it was too late and ran into Level, who already had it.
Bryant works it in low to Caldwell. Bird the steal into the hands of Roby. And now Buckner. It's 4-2 Celtics, 8.5. Down toward pass to Bird, hits the rim. And you're right, Bob, they are being careless with the ball.
Yeah. They're just, see, there's a difference between trying to score offense the easy way, like, for instance, a long pass instead of bringing it in. Or the flamboyant play, obviously, instead of the solid bread and butter one. And when you're playing against a weaker team, you'll take those chances. At home, normally, you know, you can get away with that. On the road, a little different story. Get yourself, you know, from a coaching standpoint, get yourself a 12, 14, 15-point lead, and then worry about looking cute and fancy. But especially at this stage of the game, stay solid and try to build a lead up for yourself.
All right, Caldwell Jones, and now Allen Level.
They're trying to post Ainge on Bryant.
That's the smart move. Foul called in low. Larry Bird.
Now, Bryant's a pretty good scorer. Doesn't have great moves. And there it is. They finally get it inside. Bird drops down and gives him some immediate help and picks up his first foul. Third team, excuse me.
One was an offensive though.
Yeah, and Maxwell's our second team.
Level, and now Wally Walker came over from Seattle. Ball stripped loose. Level, nice feed.
That's a good job. He's leading the team in assists. Third year in a row as a fifth-round draft choice.
Yeah.
This kid, you know,
He's worked hard.
he's not all that good a basketball player, but as a fifth-round draft choice, I'll tell you, he's a hell of a player.
He's worked hard to, you know, to improve his skills. Ainge trying to take Bryant in low on the fall-away jumper. Hits the front of the rim. Walker, Buckner the steal. Ball on fire.
I think you're going to see a timeout soon on the part of Bill Fitch. I don't know how much longer he's going to look at this offense, I'll tell you.
Well, we have played 4.5 minutes, and we've had 8 points scored total. Level from downtown. Houston has a 6-4 lead.
Now, Level's got that kind of range. If the Celtics complement the offense we've been looking at with a mediocre effort on D, I'll tell you, same thing could happen here as happened in New York a few weeks ago. A team that, you know, shouldn't be in the same ballpark could come out of here with a win.
Rockets averaging 94 points a game. Ainge, quick hands, knocks the ball out of bounds. Bird, typical Celtic type dive for the ball, and the Rockets have taken a timeout. Larry gathers himself back up.
I tell you, he could have hurt himself.
Yes,
too.
he could have.
He hit a camera, a woman photographer down there. He kind of flipped the camera away on him.
So we'll be back to Houston with the score tied at 6.
If you had the wings of an eagle, you could see all the banks in our family, all across Massachusetts. Over 100 offices of the old colony banks and the First National Bank of Boston, united to serve you statewide. Old Colony and the First. What on earth do they have in common? They're under the wing of Bank of Boston, the most prominent family of banks in Massachusetts.
I mean, with prices today, what can you even buy for less than $1?
When you can buy breakfast at McDonald's.
For under $1?
Country fresh scrambled eggs, a toasted English muffin, and regular-sized coffee.
Under $1.
Or 3 fluffy buttered hotcakes with syrup and regular-sized coffee.
Under $1.
Nothing like a good breakfast at McDonald's, huh, Matt?
For under $1.
It means a lot to them.
Scrambled eggs, English muffin and coffee, or hotcakes and coffee for under $1.
This is the hard way to climb Mount Washington. Datsun has the easy way. 8 great front-wheel drives. The high-mileage Sentra, the 310, the family-size Stanza, the Pulsar NX, and our rugged 4x4s. All built with Datsun quality. All front-wheel driven to take on the toughest terrain. Your nearby Datsun dealer can show you what tough is all about. If you drive them,
you'll love them.
See your New England Datsun dealer.
Come and get it.
Bob Lobel brings New England sports to life, so you don't miss a beat.
Or a beating.
On today's 4.
This telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Celtics and WBZ TV Sports, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Boston Celtics and WBZ TV is prohibited, as Wally Walker buries a jumper. Make it 8-6, Houston.
Both teams shooting about 37% from the field, as you've noticed. Houston actually has created, I think, better offense in terms of going inside to Hayes than Boston has.
Coming in, the Rockets with only 4 wins have averaged 94 points a game. Their opponents 105, so they're a -11 as they work it inside to Joe Bryant, and offensive foul is called on Joe Bryant. Celtics averaging 115 a game. Their opponents 107. That's a +8 for the Celtics. Rockets high point total in the season 114. The Celtics 145. Boston beat them 112-94 back in November. Go ahead, Bob.
I was going to say, Celtics made an adjustment in that Bryant matchup. They put Max on him and dropped Danny Ainge over to Wally Walker.
Bryant just picked up another foul. That is the 3rd team foul on Houston. Joe Bryant's 2nd personal foul. Now, while Bryant has the edge on Ainge, Kuz, in trying to post him up inside on their end, on the defensive end, he certainly has no edge in the quickness department.
Well, Joe doesn't have an edge over many people, I'll tell you. He's burdened, as my buddy Don Meredith is fond of saying, with the burden with great potential that never really has materialized. He's been to, I don't know how many, 3 or 4 teams. Started out as a first-round player.
Philadelphia, 76.
Yeah, but never quite got it done. Well, he was drafted by Golden State, and then he went over to Philadelphia.
Elvin Hayes gives the Rockets a 10-8 lead. Ainge and now Bird trying to go around Bryant. Bird measuring. Flanks it off the back of the rim, and we're going to get a loose ball foul on Quinn Buckner. And that'll be the Celtics' 3rd team foul. So 5:19 to go in the quarter. The Celtics have scored 8 points in 6 minutes and 41 seconds. As they are not off to a flying start. Fortunately, neither is Houston. Buckner on the steal. Got control of it. He's got Bird. And Wally Rooney.
Very late call. He waited for the Celtics to have the layup within their grasp, and then made the out-of-bounds call. That's a little strange for Wally. Almost a good steal by Buckner.
All right, Allen level.
Houston, as you can see, not looking to run a break at all. Yeah, never foul a man that's taking a shot like that, off balance, going laterally, and whatever, 19 feet from the basket.
Foul is on Maxwell, his 2nd, the 4th Celtics team foul. They're at the limit.
It is. They close the gap. He gets by Max easily here, trying to get back into the play, just chops him.
Level, one of the better foul shooters in the league at 84% practically, 83.7. There you see his numbers. Field goal shooting percentage is only 40, but yet at the foul line, he's dynamite. Oh, it's a 4-point Houston lead, their biggest of the first quarter, 12-8. Rockets. Buckner to Roby, sliding in. Caldwell Jones fouls him. And no, offensive foul called by Terry Durham. Got it going the other way. If he can pick it up.
Call. Rick has a habit of doing that when he takes the shot off the same foot. Now watch, he'll go up off the right foot, and he tries to avoid the contact shot blocker coming over. Good job. The level, I'll tell you, has hurt this team in the past when they've had the good clubs.
Celtics on a quick break. Buckner is rejected, but call it goaltending. They'll count the hoop, 14-10, 4.5 minutes to go, first quarter. The Rockets are leading by 4. Kevin McHale getting the warm-up suit off. He'll be checking in. Robert Parrish, a late scratch just before the game, out with back spasms tonight. I was in the locker room before the game watching some videotapes of Houston's last performance, and Robert came in in noticeable pain, saying that his back was bothering him, and Buckner, trying to come through the middle, is called for a charging foul. McHale is in, replacing Maxwell.
Well, Celtics trying to up the tempo a little bit. Good call again by Durham. Walker had the good position. Buckner picks up his second. Now, Celtics want to get a break going. They hurt them early and often in Boston with the fast break. Houston will try to slow it down. This is one reason why their scores are so low. Not so much because, you know, I think we're talking to Bill Fitch about how they're playing good D. They're not really playing exceptional defense, but they just slow it down.
And Buckner is fouled by Wally Walker. We've had a foul contest so far here in the first quarter.
That's a tough matchup right there for Mr. Walker, 6'7". Wally's a good shooter. He's never distinguished himself with defense or rebounding, and that's what's hurt him. He's been to about 14. Good job by
Buckner. Takes it 14-12 with 3:40 to go in the quarter. You're looking at Allen Level. Now Joe Bryant floats right down the middle. It's just, you know, a walk down easy street.
Yeah, his man went for the steal and no one helped out. One characteristic, and that is apt to happen against a club that you're not taking seriously. You don't give the support D that you normally might.
Buckner whacks it inside to Kevin McHale. Misses the shot. Elvin Hayes the rebound. Level now Walker to the hoop. Deflected by McHale.
Got away with one there, folks.
Yes, he did. Bird misses the long-range jumper for Kevin McHale. Stopped by Joe Bryant. McHale had just recorded his 76th blocked shot. Now Houston leads by 6, 18-12. It's one of the poorest quarters the Celtics have had so far this season, particularly in the point total. Only 12 points to this point. McHale gives them 14.
Well, they're just not staying with their patterns. You know, they're taking the quick shot and the fast break. If they've got the break, and even on the break, they're not making the additional pass trying to create the better shot.
The rebounding edge in this game decidedly should belong to Boston, and we have a whistle. The net was tangled. So they'll have to straighten that out. Celtics averaging 49 rebounds a game. The Rockets only 42.
Not a good idea to do that, Alan, because all it does now is give you 13 seconds to work with instead of 20 or 21, whatever he had when he came over half court.
It's 18-14 right now. The Celtics are down by 4. Wally Walker from Virginia, the miss.
See, he probably would have made it if they'd left the net up.
Nice feed from Buckner.
Now, that's what I mean by making the additional pass. What they've been doing is that first man in the lane, the first opening, taking the pop, instead of taking it a little closer and making sure of a better shot.
Celtics cut the Houston lead to 2 points with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Joe Bryant. Walker right along the baseline, pops it in.
Good job. Good job by Walker.
Intercepted by Level. Allen Level, 60th steal of the season.
Celtics continue to be careless. They had 19 turnovers against Houston and Boston. However, it didn't hurt them there.
Allen Level. 22 to 16, the Rockets lead with a minute and a half to go in the first quarter.
So when you get a team like this believing that they can beat you, and this is the way to do it, especially away from home, you know, let them. Bird continues to shoot badly for him, by the way, especially outside. He's really rushing it. Once you get a team like this believing they can win, that's when they can get tough. I'll tell you, especially at home.
Bird lead pass to Buckner, too far ahead, and the Celtics take a timeout with a minute and 5 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Timeout at the Summit in Houston. Your score: the Rockets leading the Celtics by 6 points.
Here's to your friends tonight.
Hey, chicken and ribs?
Chicken and ribs.
Check. Steak?
Must say
Check.
something more somehow.
Chili? Homemade chili. Good work.
Hey, wait a minute.
What did you bring besides your list? Just a little something I threw together.
I should have known.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
Okay, everybody, let's go win this one.
Ever since launching, the Voyager has been sending back fantastic pictures from the road. The Voyager radial tire from Kelly Springfield, delivering all the treadwear, delivering all the traction, delivering all the fuel economy our computer said it would. The Kelly Voyager radial. We put space technology on the road. Kelly Springfield. We're out to change America's tires.
Getty, I take my cap off to you. Your Unleaded Plus saves me money. It costs less than Unleaded Premium.
Getty, I take my cap off to you. You've made it a lot easier for me to pay for your gasoline.
People everywhere are taking their caps off to Getty. Because Getty's got the grades of gasoline for just about any car on the road today.
Getty, I take my cap off to you.
Take your cap off to Getty.
Jack Williams gets to the heart of New England's most important news stories.
Looks very good. Well, what?
On today's 4, where you don't miss a beat.
Gil Santos, Bob Cousy back at the Summit in Houston, where the Rockets make no changes to start the second quarter. They'll remain with Walker, Level, Bryant, Caldwell, Jones, and Elvin Hayes. The Celtics with Bird, Roby, McHale, Buckner, and Ainge. Parrish not playing with severe back spasms. Still the first quarter, am I saying here? We've got a minute to go in the quarter. This seems like it's taken a long time. Now Level bringing it back for Houston on the steal. Bird has 5 rebounds to lead the Celtics. Buckner with 6 points. Level and Hayes with 6 apiece for Houston. Right now the Celtics are shooting 8 of 19. Houston 10 of 20. Level, another one of his off-balance specials.
He's a good penetrator. He's got the good speed. You can give him outside, so you don't have to play him quite as close as Quinn. But he's overplaying him right, and he's fighting the pressure and still gets by. Not easily, but he does create contact, and Buckner picks up his third.
Level will shoot a pair of foul shots. 40 seconds left in the quarter now. Houston's biggest lead, 7 points, 23 to 16. Now James Bailey comes in for Houston, replacing Elvin Hayes, and Tiny Archibald for the Celtics, replacing Quinn Buckner. James Bailey, of course, played his high school ball at Xaverian High in Westwood, played his college ball at Rutgers. First round pick of the Seattle Sonics. They traded him to New Jersey. Always was stuck in a situation in the pros where he was playing on teams that had very talented people up front, both Seattle and New Jersey. And now here with Houston, getting a chance to see a lot more playing time. Improving game by game, they say down here. All right, Archibald for the Celtics, trailing by 8 points, 24-16. Wally Rooney has called a foul on Alan Level.
Well, a Roby pick created the mismatch. Roby rolled the basket. Level switched off on him, so they were trying to go inside. Obviously, Level at 6'1" was grabbing a little hair and some pants and whatever else he could get a hold of to try to keep Roby from getting the position.
Roby shooting 2, not get the first. He's a 60% foul shooter. The Celtics, as a team coming in, are shooting 73% from the foul line. Roby misses them both. Well, the Celtics are down by 8 points with 20 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Houston with a chance to have a 10-point lead after the first 12 minutes.
Celtics are going to get themselves in trouble here. What you want to do with a weaker opponent is go out early and pressure him as much as possible. Try to break the game open early. And above all, as we said, don't give him the idea he can beat you.
McHale ahead to Ainge, could not get the shot away in time, and so we've come to the end of the first quarter in Houston. And things have not gone well for the Celtics in the first 12 minutes. The crowd in Houston appreciates the effort by their team. After one quarter, it is the Rockets 24 and the Celtics 16.
Year after year, America's salespeople have climbed into their company cars and hit the road. It's a costly way to do business. But today, businesses are finding a way to make it less costly. It's called telemarketing. In one of its simplest forms, it's one person with an ordinary road map, a list of your prospects, and a telephone. Locating new customers and lining them up for your outside sales force.
Ted, I've got 6 leads for you, all in the same part of town. Yeah, you should be able to cover them all in one day.
In its most sophisticated form, it's your own telemarketing center, staffed with trained personnel using Bell System equipment and knowledge to find and serve customers.
We'll ship them out today. Thank you very much.
Telemarketing helps your salespeople spend less time behind the wheel and more time driving home sales.
The telephone, it helps you do more business every business day.
Under WBZ-TV's contractual arrangements with the Boston Celtics for this telecast, the announcers for this game have been selected by station WBZ-TV, subject to the approval of the Boston Celtics Club.
Gil Santos and Bob Cousy back at the Summit in Houston, where we're set to start the second quarter. As you look at Dal Harris talking to his troops, and he's got to be very pleased, Robert, with now the Celtics on the other end. Del Harris has to be pleased. He got himself an 8-point lead after 1 quarter of play.
Well, I'll be more pleased if he gets his contract renewed. He's the winningest coach, really, for Houston. He's up to 131. Our old friend John Egan from Hartford had 129 wins. Dal just eclipsed that in the last week or so. But he's in for a long year, as he's already experienced. So if he can hang in this year and survive, the cavalry, as we've mentioned, is on the way.
Oh, yes. Well, they've got their own first-round draft choice, and they've got Cleveland's first-round draft choice. And right now, those would be the first 2 choices in the NBA draft. So you can load up in a hurry.
I'll tell you, excuse me, a win tonight over the Celtics would go a long way towards solidifying his position.
All right, the Rockets with no changes to start the second quarter. They still have Level, Caldwell Jones, Joe Bryant, this Wally Walker on the miss. That was James Bailey working hard off the offensive boards. The miss. McHale the rebound. Bailey the steal and lays it in.
Bailey's got that kind of potential. He's a demon on the boards if you don't pay any attention to him, and that's exactly what Kevin McHale just allowed him to go over him twice. No contact, and he didn't go up strong for the rebound. Bailey took advantage. Good offensive move twice to the basket.
Roby is out for the Celtics, so McHale's playing the middle, and ML Carr is up at a forward as Tiny bangs one in from downtown, just inside the 3-point arc, so it's 26-18. There you see the time remaining in the second quarter, 11-12. And we'll be on the air again Friday night from San Antonio against the Spurs, and Saturday night from Dallas against the Dallas Mavericks, who have developed into a very fine young team. Joe Bryant trying to go around Ainge. Line drive jumper from the baseline.
The advantage Bryant has at 6'9".
Tiny flowing right. Beautiful move by Tiny.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful move.
Well,
Ainge the steal. Out of bounds.
That ought to get the boys in green excited a little bit.
Boy, see him beautiful shift of
Tiny,
gears, huh?
Out of his momentary shell the last few games, has been playing extremely well. Just enough spin on it after he went across the basket. An off-balance shot.
28-20. Celtics had been down by 10, which is their biggest deficit. Bryant hits the jumper, and he's fouled by Ainge.
Well, as my old mentor, Red Auerbach, used to say, you're going to make all league players out of these guys when they're not. And as we were saying earlier, individually or collectively, you let a team get started, and you let individuals think that they're better than they are, and you can create a lot of problems for yourself, and that's what the Celtics are doing at the moment.
Well, you know, come into a game against the Celtics, they're always super psyched up anyway. Bird is really drilled to the floor by Caldwell Jones. But all of these clubs, when they play the Celtics, are a little more revved up anyway.
Yeah, as Tiny draws the defense into the middle away from Bird and then drops it down for him. Now, Bird has been taking the quick outside shot. That time he brought it in. It thought the foul by Caldwell Jones.
Yes. First Houston foul of the second quarter. Larry misses the foul shot. Larry's an 83.9% foul shooter. His statistics are something. One more free throw for Bird. Gets it. Celtics have missed 3 foul shots, by the way, in this game. It's Gerald Henderson, who's just checked in, replacing Ainge. Bird, 23.5 points per game average, 12 rebounds, 5.5 assists, leads the team in steals, 32 block shots. James Bailey with authority. 33-21, Houston by 12. ML back is fouled by Bailey.
Houston running much better offense, by the way, than they did in Boston, going inside much more effectively. Henderson and Calvin Murphy have not been playing the last 3 games. Here's ML on the other end after that Bailey stuff comes over. Pretty good position by Bailey, but evidently he got him with the body.
ML rattles the first one home, and so it is 33-22. You look at the numbers on ML Carr. The Celtics have now missed 4 free throws here in the first half.
Well, when you're not working as hard as you can, generally every phase of the
Great
game
job.
will be
That's a
effective.
shot. Lead pass to Gerald Henderson. Superb move, but the basket doesn't fall.
They're going to the easy shot, you know. Even that time, Gerald could have used his body to pick up the foul, especially with a shot blocker by Caldwell. Instead, he went for the tough shot.
Wally Walker, Bird the rebound.
3 on 2.
Tiny through the middle. Not get it. Bird, good job off the offensive boards. Gets it back in.
Good effort that time by Bird. Followed the play down. A little off-balance shot by Tiny, but Bird found the opening, as he does so often and so effectively.
Celtics have cut the Houston lead down to 9 points from a high of 12. Allen level.
Parrish out. It's not going to be as easy to make up, you know, a big lead. Bailey just cleans house and takes it in. He's been playing extremely well. First round draft choice, very highly sought after and thought of when he got out of college at Rutgers. Just didn't happen at New Jersey and Seattle. But
Bird again with a position, and a foul is called on Wally Walker.
Yeah, Bailey is capable. There's the Tiny jump shot.
Nice shot.
Bird with a good inside position.
Nice shot by our cameraman. All right, Archibald. Celtics down by 11 points. Bird from 20 feet on the miss. Rebound to Wally Walker. Larry has hit a cold snap in his shooting over the past 8 games or so. And the Houston Rockets have called a timeout. Well, we have 8:19 to go in the first half, and the Rockets are still in control. Right now, they have an 11-point lead. It is Houston 35, Celtics 24. We'll be back to the Summit in a little bit.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
So long, fellas. Hey, Jim, how you doing? I'm hot, cold, thirsty. Call me a cab. 10 minutes, I'll have you back at the lodge. I can't make it. 10 minutes, I'll have you back at the lodge drinking a Lowenbrau. I can make it.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
Where would I be without you guys?
Probably still out there in the snow somewhere. I mean, with prices today, what can you even buy for less than $1?
When you can buy breakfast at McDonald's.
For under $1?
Country fresh scrambled eggs, a toasted English muffin, and regular-sized coffee.
Under $1?
Or 3 fluffy buttered hotcakes with syrup and regular-sized coffee.
Under $1?
Nothing like a good breakfast at McDonald's, huh, Matt?
For under $1?
It means a lot to them.
Scrambled eggs, English muffin and coffee, or hotcakes and coffee for under $1.
You must not say his name above a whisper, for he can be anywhere, anytime. And if he hears you say his name, he will come. And when he finds you, There is no escape. There is no place on earth you can hide. Madman from JF Pictures. Rated R.
You're under arrest for murder. Book him, Dano.
Hawaii 5-0, weekday afternoons at 3 on Channel 4.
All right, play back in as Wally Walker gets it in bounds to Alan Lovell. It's Walker, Level, Caldwell Jones, Joe Bryant, and James Bailey. Bryant missing the jump hook, and Bailey with a dip in. He's had 4 hoops since he came in late in the first quarter. And it's been a force.
He's been awesome under that.
Houston now leads by 13 points, their biggest lead of the game.
They're giving him a path to the basket. No one's blocking him out. And all the help Bailey needs. He jumped extremely well to begin with.
ML on the miss. Maxwell picking up the loose ball. Carr measures. McHale tough off the offensive boards.
Taking him 3 shots to do it, though. And against Houston, that shouldn't happen.
All right, Level. Around the pick set by Caldwell Jones. Kicks it back outside. We're going to get a foul on ML Carr, who hits the 24-second clock with a shot from half court. And the Celtics are given a delay of game warning. One more and it's a technical.
Not the coolest play in the world there.
No. Level. Low to Bailey, who's been a horse. Misses the shot, but the foul is called on Kevin McHale.
Making no effort to keep the ball from getting inside. They normally do this quite well. Here, 2 men have got the inside position. Both Celtics are playing behind him. So Level can pretty much pick out the man he wants to go to. It's Bailey, and picks up a foul, the 4th team foul, I believe, on the Celtics, so 3rd.
There you see the numbers on James Bailey as he hits the free throw. 6'9", 220-pounder. Now in his 4th year in the NBA. Of course, he played at Rutgers and is from Boston. Played his high school ball at Zavarian Brothers High in Westwood. One more for James Bailey. Missing that one, but Level gets the rebound. Rockets lead by 12, 7:15 to go, and little Alan Level snuck in to steal a rebound away from Kevin McHale. He gave away 10 inches and got the rebound.
Well,
Bryant on the miss, Carr the rebound.
They're a half a step behind every play, and that's a good example of it right there. Level simply beating Kevin to the ball.
ML Carr,
despite his size, has the quickness of a man 6'1". That shouldn't happen.
Jump hook by Maxwell doesn't go. Gets the loose ball. Doesn't get that one either, and we're going to get a loose ball foul on Kevin McHale. Coos, we were talking before the game about the difficulty of trying to get up for a team that's only won 4 out of 30 games, and you mentioned that since Robert Parrish was out, it might rev up the juices a little bit. It does not appear to have done that.
Without question. The Celtics are sleepwalking out there, and they may very well pay the price. This would be a tough loss in here.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, the Rockets did the same thing to the Lakers in here earlier in the season. The Lakers came in. Nice feed to Wally Walker, but a Boston foul on ML Carr. They did the same thing to the Lakers. Well, let's look at the replay first.
Walker with the good position. The defense is simply not alert. They're not overplaying. They're not pressuring the ball. Bryan was able to stand there and rifle that pass diagonally through and underneath to Walker, who had the position. So everything is breaking down. It's simply a matter of concentration, or the lack of it. And, it doesn't take much on this level. You can say what you want about a Houston only having won 4 games. Hey, it's still NBA. It's still a lot of All-Americans out there.
Yep.
That, you know, we tend to judge them on based on Celtic levels and as to who are better shooters, but they all can shoot pretty well if you let them do it.
Well, they all practice. Gerald Henderson gets the basket, but it's taken away for traveling. 6:20 to go in the first half. The Celtics down by 13 points. Anyway, the Rockets caught the Lakers in here in a similar situation earlier in the season. L.A. got away with a 2-point win. Right now, the Celtics got a lot of work to do to get back in it. There's a jumper by Bryant. Now Houston leads by 15 points with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Archibald is called for a charging foul.
Now they're going individual. The last two moves by Henderson and Tiny just been one-on-one moves, and they've gotten burned each time.
Oh, the Rockets are leading 41-26.
Well, Bill switches up and howling, and I don't blame him.
Make it a 17-point lead.
I think a timeout probably be in order here, but I don't blame him for being upset. This is as weak an effort as we've seen in 2 or 3 years out of them so far.
Who could blame him, indeed? The Rockets fans give them a standing O, and it is Houston by 17 points.
Until now, where to put your hard-earned money has been a problem. You could get high rates, but you couldn't always get your money when you wanted it. Money market funds had good rates, but were uninsured. Now you can get it all in one place at the First National Bank of Boston. High rates, check writing privileges, and the security of FDIC insurance. The first rate account, as safe as money in the bank because it is money in the bank. The first rate account, only at Bank of Boston and Old Colony Banks.
We just stole this new Nissan Sentra.
New Nissan Sentra. You need this car.
We stole it.
For only $49.49.
Ultra mileage.
Front-wheel drive.
Plenty of power.
5-passenger room.
Still only $49.49. I need this car.
You need a Nissan Sentra. It's steel.
We are driven. It's time to stop and shop for savings. Stop and shop. Time to stop and shop for more.
Start your weekly shopping in the Stop and Shop Circular, where you'll find specials like 24-ounce Hood Cottage cheese, assorted varieties, $1.19. Oodles of noodles, assorted varieties, 4 for $1. 1 pound colonial meat bologna or extra mild franks, $1.19. The Stop and Shop Circular. Check it out.
It's time to stop and shop.
Be sure to vote for the Stop and Shop Celtic player of the game at any participating Stop and Shop. No purchase necessary. Your ballot's drawn to the televised game. You win a $25 Stop and Shop gift certificate. If it correctly names the Celtic player of the game, you win a $100 Stop and Shop gift certificate. Changes for the Celtics before we get to that. Maxwell on the runner. No. Bird, the offensive rebound. Larry just checked back in with Bradley. Go ahead, Bob.
I was going to say Houston shooting 55%, just a little bit above their 43% for the season so far. Celtics shooting 42%, and that's a little bit below their 49%. So what we've seen is reflected in the shooting stats, obviously.
Caldwell Jones has picked up his 3rd personal foul, so he'll leave, and Elvin Hayes replaces him. That gives the Celtics mismatch inside of sorts. Celtics in this quarter have hit 4 out of 12. Tiny off the pick, buries it.
That's the first time they've gone to their half-court offense successfully. I think perhaps this half. They've run some breaks effectively, but other than that, it's been pretty much one-on-one offensively.
Level with Archibald on him tight as the Celtics appear to be trying to tighten up the defensive screws here. Bailey over Bird on the miss and the rebound to Charles Bradley. And now Archibald trying to trigger it. Tiny to pull up. Bird tipped the ball over to Bradley. Nice job.
They shouldn't look for that outside shot too quickly.
Nice feed by Bradley, but Wally Walker with a quick hand slapped it away. Bryant back off to Elvin Hayes. Elvin's played in this league for 14 years. This is his 15th.
Only missed 7 games in 14 years.
Amazing. Bird, foul line jumper. Celtics now within 13 points at 43-30.
7 points for Bird now.
And he has 9 rebounds to lead both teams.
It's the only department the Celtics hanging in with them. They're out rebounding by about 4 the last time we checked the total.
It's got to be defense, Coos, to get them back to within a respectable level at the half like that. Bird into the passing lane on the steal, and he's fouled by Allen Level. That'll send Larry to the foul line because it puts the Rockets over the limit. Is that what's going to get them back in it, Coos?
Defense, well, obviously, you know, whether at home or on the road, that's what triggers the break. That's what gets the blood flowing and the offense working more effectively. Here's Level trying to make up for that stolen ball. He's the one who has thrown it against Bird. So often that'll happen. player who makes the error compounds it by, trying to make up for it. Bird is just not, he's not releasing that shot properly. He seems to be rushing it just a bit. Even the foul shot is effective.
Hits them both. Celtics a quick 6-point run here. It's 43-32. Bird plays those passing lanes so well, doesn't he, Coos?
Yes, he does. Great anticipation. He plays out of it. He doesn't play. He tries to fake you into throwing the pass, and then he moves in quickly because he's got such great quickness.
They throw it away. Bailey trying to alley-oop it to Bryant, threw it away, and so the Celtics, with 3:44 to go in the half, have a chance to get it down under double figures. Bird baseline, no. Rebound Bailey, ahead to Bryant. Archibald slaps it away. Walker, blocked by McHale.
He's going to take it away, and that's a good call because they got Roby for it. In the first quarter, Harris is up and doesn't like it, obviously. And not a popular call here in Houston, but a gutsy call by Rooney. You'll see him with the left arm. That's exactly what Roby did to Caldwell Jones in the first quarter. Goes both ways. Good call.
All right, 3:22 to go in the first half. The Celtics have cut the Rocket lead to 11 as Bird works it to Tiny Archibald with level on him. Tiny, sweet move off to McHale for two. Oh, that was damn good.
Nice move.
Celtics cut it down to 9 with an 8-point run.
Not only is defense picked up intensity, but what it's doing is it's exposing Houston's many weaknesses that have been reflected up to now in the season. But without defensive pressure, they're keeping their cool and doing what they please and playing over their head. Now with the defensive pressure, it's causing some of the cracks to show.
So when the Celtics, with 5.5 minutes to go in the first half, we're down by 17 points as the Rockets have taken a 20-second timeout. Now you see, with just under 3 minutes to go, the Celtics in the last 2 minutes. There, love you, Celts. WBZ TV, hello. Norwood, Mass. Now, you can read it. A lot of Celtics signs here tonight. One for folks in Franklin, one for the folks on Mission Hill that we can spot immediately. Anyway, the Celtics have run off 8 unanswered points to get it down to 9. San Antonio's beaten Atlanta 104-95. That's the final. And Phoenix over the New York Knicks 97-85, another final. All right, the Rockets will put the ball in play. Checking in for Houston, a fine-looking rookie guard, Bob. Number 2 draft choice from Texas Tech, Jeff Taylor. Very quick guard. He has come in to replace Joe Bryant. Whereas number 13, one of the few players in the league to wear 13. There you see Taylor. Greg Taylor, he is 6'3". Second-round draft choice, Texas Tech. So it's Taylor and Level at the guards. Walker with Bailey and Hayes up front. Maxwell all over him. 3 seconds on the shot clock. And it does not go in. The ball was missed, but it hit the rim, so it was a legitimate shot, even though the buzzer went off.
Great increase in defensive intensity, which we were able to see that time, and they almost...
Cale missing the jump hook. Bird the rebound. Doesn't get it, but he's fouled.
Kept it alive and finally threw the foul. Using his body extremely well on that offensive board. He has the entire game.
Comes the Rockets' number 1 draft choice, number 20. Well, we'll show him to you in a moment. Bird getting the rebound. Great position.
Who was that foul on? Wally?
The foul was called on James Bailey, his second. All right, Bird will shoot 2 for the Celtics. The Rockets now have their first-round draft choice in from Baylor, Terry Teagle, as he replaced Wally Walker. Bird missing the foul shot. Celtics have missed 5 already here in the first half. There's Teagle. He's 6'6", 186-pounder from Baylor, 22 years old. Taylor, by the way, was 23 years old on New Year's Day. He was New Year's baby back in 1960. There's Taylor with Charles Bradley on him. And now you're looking at Terry Teagle, who is an outstanding outside shooter. On the miss, Charles Bradley, a thundering rebound. Ahead to McHale.
Wait for the good one.
Bradley trying to take it to the hole. Lost control. 2 minutes to go in the half. Celtics are down by 8 points right now, 43-35. Maxwell trying to post Teagle up. Instead gets it to McHale at the foul line, who buries it. And the Celtics have scored 11 unanswered points.
Max, Tiny trying to take advantage of Teagle on Max. But it threw the double team. Max alertly picked Kevin out. Bailey trying to bring it in again.
Celtics have run 11 unanswered points and cut the lead to 6 here with 1:27 to go in the half. Beautiful blind pass from Archibald. Goaltending. Oh, that was beautiful.
Super outstanding pass by Tiny, and McHale just extended it far enough where he picked up the goaltending.
He was looking
at
one way.
Bird in the right lane. Decoyed Bird, went to McHale in the middle, who extended that long reach and picked up the goaltending. Good job by the both players.
13-point run for the Celtics to cut the Rockets' lead to 4 points with 1:10 to go in the half. Allen Level on the miss, the rebound. Charles Bradley. Bradley's done a good job since coming in, and he is fouled. Charles has done an excellent job since he's come in.
Not only that, he's picked up the entire team defensively. I'll tell you, he's got them all hustling. Bradley with another loud rebound. Level with his quickness catches Tiny by surprise. Keep your head up, kid. You've got to see that floor.
I'll tell you one thing about Charles Bradley. There's no one going to play with any more enthusiasm than he does. Charles is a bundle of enthusiasm when he's out there. Already he's got one more shot.
Well, it's contagious, too. That's the important thing.
The Celtics have now run 14 unanswered points to make it 43-40 with 1 minute to go in the first half. 14 unanswered Boston points.
The defensive pressure has affected just about every part of Houston's game, if you notice. The rebounding, the passing, the shooting.
This is Teagle. Nice little bounce pass to Bailey, and a foul is called as Bailey went to the baseline on Cedric Maxwell.
Number 31, Cedric Maxwell, third personal.
Cedric's third, so Bailey will shoot 2 for the Rockets. Wally Walker coming in for Houston, replaces Level.
This is a prayer job here. They should have held a position because Bailey just throws himself into the pack and picks up some contact. Bailey, a 69% free throw shooter. Rick Roby back in the last 44 seconds here.
Maxwell goes out. At the line, James Bailey. He breaks the Celtics' 14-point run. Make it 44-40 Houston. As you look at Cedric, relaxing for a moment.
Leading scorer for Houston with 10 in this quarter.
James Bailey. Boston area high school product. Cans them both. Oh, it's 45-40 with 44 seconds to go in the half as the Celtics, by applying defensive pressure, have gotten themselves right back in the ball game after being down by 17 in a very lethargic performance. Have really come back. Bird. Oh, wow. Loud 2 points for Larry Joe.
Look what I found here. Big, long strides. You notice he didn't put the left arm out to ward off Wally Walker, who came in from underneath. Took off what seemed to be at the foul line and floated in. I won't say like a bird.
No. Larry Joe Bird.
Outstanding.
Walker off to Terry Teagle, long-range gunner on the miss. The rebound to Bird. Slapped away, dive to the floor, loose ball.
Good job.
2 seconds left in the half. We'll have a jump ball.
Nice to see the Celtics going to the wood, I'll tell you. They didn't do it in the first quarter for a good part of this one, but that time they had 2 guys on that
they were sleepwalking through the first 16, 18 minutes of the game. There's no question about that. But they have come back to play a hard ball game here. McHale on the tip. Basket does not go. Larry Bird in the first half, 12 points and 11 rebounds. We've come to the end of the first half, but the Celtics, with 5.5 minutes to go in the half, were down by 17 points at 43-26. And that means over the last 5.5 minutes of the first half, the Celtics outscored Houston 16-2 to give us a much more respectable halftime score. Right now, it's the Rockets leading the Celtics by 3 points. Houston 45, Boston 42.
By the way, have you talked to Bob about his new boat yet?
Oh, you know my brother. Probably too busy fishing to call.
Oh, so call him.
No, it's his turn to call me.
Jerry, call him. I'll bet he's dying to tell you about it.
Well, okay.
When you call weeknights after 5, no operator involved, you can get a low rate. A 5-minute call 40 miles within Massachusetts for just 90 cents.
Jerry! Oh, you get a boat's terrific! You know you'll get the job done right. We take pride in what we do, 'cause we care about the work we do for you. Trust the Midas touch.
78 MGB.
Trust the Midas touch. Where nothing but the best is ever gonna do. Trust the Midas touch.
The Midas brake special is on now. See your New England Midas dealer for details.
I'm a Sunoco dealer. These are some of my competitors, and lately, my best buddies. At their stations, they have one price for cash and a higher price for credit. But with a Sunoco card, you pay the same low price for gasoline as a cash customer. So thanks to my buddies, I expect a lot of new customers. So come sign up for a Sunoco card. In the meantime, I'll accept any major gasoline card. Well, that's the least I can do for my buddies.
I once rolled a log off a 100-foot waterfall, came up standing, and popped myself open a cold light beer for Miller.
Ah, you lumberjacks. Well, one time a big mouth bass pulled me up a waterfall. That's when you appreciate light beer, because it's less filling.
Yeah, but it was the thought of light's great taste that kept me going when I was cutting timber in the Great Sahara Forest.
Wait a minute. Sahara's a desert.
It is now.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
No, speaking of forest, remember that time?
Gil Santos and Bob Cousy back at the Summit in Houston, Texas, where the Celtics, on a 16-2 burst over the final 5.5 minutes of the first half, triggered by hard-nosed defense, got themselves back into a ball game. There you see a lot of the folks who are here from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, the group on the left, and some from New Hampshire and all that business. Anyhow, the Celtics, with a 16-2 run, have gotten themselves back into a ball game that they were trailing by 17 points, 43-26 at one point. Now they're within 3 at halftime, 45-42. Earlier tonight, Bob Cousy had an opportunity to talk with Houston Rockets general manager Ray Patterson for a pre-recorded, pre-taped interview. Now let's go to that tape, Bob Cousy and Ray Patterson.
Ray, Houston obviously not enjoying the kind of year you'd like to see them have. If you're not sick of answering the question by now, any regrets at this point in terms of, not going further with Moses?
Coos, we didn't have a choice on it. As you know, we went about as high as we thought we should go with Moses, and it was just too much for us. And I think there are times when you have to separate the franchise from the ball club. In Boston's great years, of course, you talked about the franchise and the ball club, and then in some of the lean years, the franchise held the ball club up, such as Arnold and the organization. And I think there are times when you have to make a decision, and we made the decision. I don't think too many people realize that we made the playoffs 5 of the last 5 years by 1 game, and that's not a great ball club. A year ago, we were 8 and 12 or 14 with Moses, and with Reed out this year and Moses gone, it gives us a chance to see what we can do with the ball club we have, and of course, we should get some good picks in the draft next year. So, to answer your question, we really didn't have a choice.
You know, it's ironic in terms of what you're saying the impact of Moses leaving was, and what it has been really in Philadelphia, in that I'm not certain, but they can't be more than a game ahead of their pace last year. And the last time we were in Philly, I noticed they were only about 1,000 a game ahead on attendance. So the point is, they've had to put out all this money, and it hasn't had that kind of a positive impact there either.
Coos, I think everybody has to do what they have to do with their own franchise. From our standpoint, we chose not to do that, and the Cats, of course, chose to make the break. And many people will second-guess him, and many people will second-guess us. But the fans here have been good. We're not going to have a sellout tonight. We had one the other night with Moses coming back. The impact as far as the crowd is concerned certainly is a plus side for us when you take away Malone's salary. But regardless of why they made the decision, why we made the decision, everybody makes those decisions in relation to their own ego and their own franchise needs.
I wonder if that's, well, you might have a lot of complaints about the right of first refusal clause, but I wonder if that perhaps isn't, at least as it applies to basketball, the most serious, in that someone can come in and to some degree decimate a team by taking their key player. And I say as it applies to basketball, because in other sports, I think it's easier, other team sports, right, it's easier to survive the loss of a key player. Obviously, in basketball, you know, if a Kareem goes, or whoever, you're seriously hurt, or a Bird goes from this club.
I think you're right there. It certainly can decimate a ball club with 1 or 2 players going. It can make a ball club with 1 or 2 players going. But you and I have been associated with this business for a long time in one capacity or another. And the way I've tried to survive is to play the rules as they exist today. A lot of us could go back in nostalgia and talk about things that were better in the past years. But if you're going to stay in this business, you have to recognize that you have to keep up with the people that are in the league with you. Actually, I think there were 21 clubs that weren't going to go after Malone. But the one club went after him. That's going to be true in the future of other clubs.
Now for the good news. You may not have a coin flip this year. You may end up with 1 or 2. It's possible, let me put it that way. And, you know, in terms of what we were just talking about, it would not only be ironic, but, you know, I'm assuming Sampson will be high amongst your consideration, possibly Ewing. Tell me, well, number one, suppose Sampson's agent came in and wanted the same thing that Moses wanted. And number 2, if you had both, if you end up with 1 and 2 picks, is it conceivable you'd go for Sampson and Ewing, both, if Ewing came out hardship?
There isn't any question we have a good chance to get the first 2 picks, depending on how we play and how the other clubs play. And also, with those picks, it provides a great deal of flexibility for us, because I'm sure that the second pick would be worth a great deal to other clubs. And yes, I'd like to see Ewing, if he so desires, come out, and we'd go for Sampson and Ewing. And I think Bobby Reed is going to come back next year. We have that along with Caldwell Jones and a couple guys from this year. And as you pointed out, the franchise can turn around in a hurry, and I think it will.
You know, I was going to ask you about Bobby Reed, whether his decision was completely unexpected and whether there was any hope to get him back, because frankly, I thought he was perhaps as good a player as you had the last few years.
There's no question about it. He was really consistent, and there's the superstars that play the same way every night. Then there's a second echelon like Bobby Reed, who gets you 14 or 15 points against all the clubs. I've talked with him on several occasions. I think it's a good thing he took the year off, and I'm quite sure he'll be back next year. So what happened really this year is we not only got Cleveland's pick, but we found ourselves in a situation to maybe be the worst club in the West, and it might be poetic justice for us to have a little better club next year.
Right. Well, I hope it all works out. Raymond, thank you for joining us. A little gift here from Sherman's, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks. It was a great pleasure.
Thank you. We're going to be back with second half action in just a moment.
The Boston Celtics halftime guest will receive a bull of a watch. Compliments of Sherman's, the name brand store for quality, value, and service. Shop at Sherman's, located at 11 Bromfield Street near Downtown Crossing, Boston.
And that's the 6 o'clock news. See you at 11.
The news doesn't stop at 7 o'clock, and neither do we. One station covers all the breaking news live. Today's 4. Bringing you drama out on the streets and in the theater. Excitement on the ground and in the air. On one station, the 11 o'clock news is more than just a repeat of the 6 o'clock news.
This is New England's Nightcast at 11.
Today's 4 Eyewitness News, where you don't miss a beat.
Children need stability and permanence in their lives. They need to know they belong. But some kids have never had this love and support. These are the hard-to-adopt children who are reaching out for a permanent family.
It didn't feel right to just be moving from one house to another, then 1 week later just whisk off.
I'm Jack Williams. Join me as today's 4 profiles Wednesday's Child. Tomorrow on Eyewitness News at 6.
Now there's more to People Are Talking.
But I wouldn't lay my doing in to the press. You can add sugar to sawdust, and people will eat it.
No, I use the men's rooms, but there are stalls, and I never had a run-in with anybody in there.
You know, I got it broken in a fight when I was a kid.
Hello there, you're on the air.
Hello, Nancy. My question is...
This is a difficult subject to discuss, but I think everyone should know about it.
Now there's more of everything you asked for. The new 1 hour People Are Talking with Nancy Merrill, weekdays at 12:30 on today's 4.
She's managed to shield herself in spite of steamy movies and a controversial life. Hi, I'm Sarah Edwards. On Wednesday's Evening Magazine at 7:30, meet the charming and beautiful Brooke Shields.
I don't think that I'm selling sex in any way, because I think that that's somebody else's own choice, you know, and I'm sort of Miss Goody-Goody in that sense anyway.
Then get a kick out of kickboxing. Don't miss a single issue. Wednesdays, Evening Magazine, 7:30 on Channel 4.
All right, back at the Summit in Houston, Texas. Gil Santos along with Bob Cousy at halftime, where the Celtics trail by 3 points, 45-42. The Celtics with a 14-0 run, a 16-2 surge over the final 5.5 minutes of the first half, cutting what had been a 17-point Houston lead at 43-26 down to 45-42. There you have the team statistics here at halftime. The Celtics increasing their shooting percentage up to 43. It had been way down in the 30s. Houston all the way down to 40. And Coos, I remember you mentioned at one point they were shooting 55%. So the Celtics, certainly the defensive pressure they put on, cut Houston's shooting percentage down and got the Celtics back in the ball game. Plus the big rebounding edge, which also came as a result of the defensive pressure.
Offense gets the headlines, and defense and rebounding wins ball games. And that's what we saw for about 5 minutes of the second quarter. Got the Celtics back in. Obviously now they have to try to sustain this at least through the third quarter. If they play the third quarter the way they did in the last 5 minutes, they should have themselves a comfortable lead, where now if they want to fool around a little bit, they're going to be allowed the luxury.
Larry Bird, the Celtics high scorer, with 12 points along with Kevin McHale. Bird has 12 rebounds as well. Allen Level with 12. James Bailey and Joe Bryant with 11 apiece lead the Houston Rockets. That takes care of our individual scoring statistics. Now we have, I'll tell you, we have, look at this, pile.
We have letters. We have letters.
Of hellos to the folks all over New England from the people down here. There you see some of the signs here at the Summit in Houston. So it's greetings and salutations time. Jim Durley, hello to his friends in Boston, especially Sue, Ken, Kathy, and Riley. Bill Garvin and son Bill say hi to friends in Greenland, New Hampshire. Hello to North Reading, Marshfield, and Seekonk. They're kind of spread around there. From Karen Filliger, Peter and Corrine Pickett. Also hi from Darrell Handel, to his family and friends in Fall River. Ed Hood of Woonsocket, Rhode Island, saying hi to his friends back in the Rhode Island area. To Acton, Mass, from Vin Sacchiati, family and friends from Ron Buffton and family. Steve Shy from Needham. Marcy Friedman, all her friends in Boston. To everyone in Burrowville, Rhode Island, from Jerry and Barbara Berard, who are now down here in Houston. Jed Centerholm says hi to his family and friends in New Bedford. Message to the gang at Fight in New Hampshire from Virginia and Gordon. They say they're not coming back home. Hello to Mom and Dad, Roger and Charlene here in Marshfield, Mass, from Jerry Barasano. I'd like to really read them all, but we really don't have time. We have plumb run out of time. Must have about 50 greetings and salutations from New England folks here watching the Celtics in action tonight in Houston. Right now, it's the Celtics trailing by 3 points, but coming on like a wagon on fire. We'll be back at the Summit in Houston in a little bit.
You know, there's nothing like getting together for a nice, friendly game of cards. That's right. Jim brings the cards. Uh-oh. Mickey brings the doll.
Thanks, doll.
And I bring the beer. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great. It's got a third less calories than the regular beer. And it's less filling. And you don't want to get filled up when you're dealing with these guys who... Okay, Numa, cut the cards. Oh, no.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
If you had the wings of an eagle, you could see all the banks in our family, all across Massachusetts. Over 100 offices of the old colony banks and the First National Bank of Boston, united to serve you statewide. Old Colony and the First. What on earth do they have in common? They're under the wing of Bank of Boston, the most prominent family of banks in Massachusetts.
Gil Santos and Bob Cousy back at the Summit in Houston. The Celtics trail the Rockets 45-42, but certainly in far better shape now than they were just a short 5.5 minutes before the end of the first half when they were down by 17. Just a few more of the greetings that we can get out to you. Ann and Fred Curl, hi to their friends and relatives back in Boston. Tom Bentz and Dennis Roberts say hi to Robert Holmes of the Paul Revere.
Hey, my old tennis partner who carries me at Greendale.
And here's one that I just could not miss reading this one. Steve Trauber of Dover, Mass. sends his regards to everyone back home and asks his mom to send money.
Quickly.
Coos is cool. Celtics rule. Gil's a thrill. It's well. Thank you very much. Huh? We're in poetry. Where's Larrick's name? How can you rhyme with Don Larrick? I mean, what could you possibly rhyme with a guy like name like Don Larrick, our crack producer director. More of the signs from folks down watching the Celtics. Actually, a lot of these people are transplanted New Englanders down here in Houston and southeastern Texas. From here, the Celtics go to San Antonio on Friday and Dallas on Saturday, and we'll be with them and have both of those games for you on BZTV Channel 4. All right, second half for Houston. Joe Bryant, Alan Level, the guards. Caldwell Jones, the center. Elvin Hayes and Wally Walker, the forwards. For the Celtics, the combination that got them back in the game. Tiny Archibald and Charles Bradley, the guards. Kevin McHale at center. Larry Bird and Cedric Maxwell up front. Again, Robert Parrish, unable to play tonight. He came up with severe back spasms just prior to the game. Work it in low, and Bird makes the steal. They're 3-4 on 3. Bird off to Bradley. Oh, that was beautiful.
He laid about 6 quick fakes on him simultaneously there. Finally, he was going to settle for the outside shot himself. Caught Bradley out of the corner of his eye underneath. Beautiful job.
Celtics are now within a point at 45-44. Bryant, now Wally Walker. Blocked by Bradley. Fine defensive play. Oh, look at this. Celtics lead. Beautiful teamwork all the way around. The steal and then beautiful passing for the layup by Bradley, and the Celtics lead by a point as Charles hits the first 2 hoops of the second half to give the Celtics the lead.
This is where mediocre talent becomes a detriment. He should get Bryant out of there now because he just can't handle that kind of defensive pressure. He can shoot and do a few things if you're letting him do it. But now with Bradley all over him, he's going to hurt the team.
The miss by Walker, the rebound by Caldwell Jones over Bird, and the Rockets take the lead back by 1. 47-46.
Good work by Caldwell on that offensive board.
Bird kissed it right off the glass.
His 14th point. Caldwell's first hoop, by the way.
Celtics back in front by a point at 48-47. As we're just into the third quarter, 10.5 minutes to play. Walker. And now Caldwell. Of course, here's a team, Coos, that Hayes on the miss. Caldwell, nice job off the board and traveled with it.
You know, it's amazing. His own man had him by the arm and caused the violation.
The Rockets, here's a team that a year ago had Moses Malone, Robert Reed, and Mike Dunleavy as starters. Bird gets 2 on a nifty drive. And this year they've had to replace them with Caldwell Jones, Wally Walker, and Joe Bryant. The Rockets quickly want a timeout as the Celtics have outscored them 8-2. So we'll take a break ourselves. With 9:54 to go in the third quarter, it's the Celtics by 3.
How do competitive air delivery services stack up? Leading services deliver a 10-pound package coast to coast for about $43. With UPS Next Day Air, the same package costs $22.27. If the shipment doesn't have overnight urgency, UPS Second Day Air costs $12.83. UPS Next Day Air and Second Day Air.
From the service American business depends on.
Any way you stack it, UPS saves you money from the ground up.
Your New England Olds dealers are rolling them back. Rolling back interest rates on all new 1983 Oldsmobiles. Rolling them back to one of the lowest interest rates in 5 years. 11.9% on any Olds. Get down to your New England Olds dealer today. Get one of the lowest GMAC interest rates in 5 years and get a great deal on a 1983 Oldsmobile.
I mean, with prices today, what can you even buy for less than $1?
When you can buy breakfast at McDonald's.
For under $1?
Country fresh scrambled eggs, a toasted English muffin, and regular-sized coffee.
Under $1?
Or 3 fluffy buttered hotcakes with syrup and regular-sized coffee.
Under $1?
Nothing like a good breakfast at McDonald's, huh, Matt?
For under $1?
It means a lot to them.
Scrambled eggs, English muffin and coffee, or hotcakes and coffee for under $1.
Instead of the usual good deal at Midas, here's a deal that's unusually good.
The Midas Break Special is on now. See your New England Midas dealer for details.
Play back in as they get it in low to Wally Walker, and we've got an offensive goaltending call on Elvin Hayes for going up and hitting the ball while it was on the rim. Right now, the Celtics in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter have outscored the Rockets 8-2 to take a 3-point lead at 50-47. Bradley with 4 and Bird with 4 for the Celtics' 8 third quarter points.
Charles Bradley continues, by the way, to spark them defensively and picks up the whole team. Very timely insertion by Bill Fitch there in the second quarter.
Well, you know, Bill was working like the devil as Maxwell goes in low, gets 2. Bill was working like crazy trying to come up with a combination that would work for him the way the Celtics were playing, and he finally hit upon it.
There's Max with one of his typical rubber man moves, looks Hayes to the outside, and then just curls himself into the basket, gets the good bounce. I don't know if Hayes or Level got picked up for the foul.
It was Level. His 4th. And Cedric looking for a 3-point play.
They can function without Level in there if the Celtics do not continue with the pressure, but if they can sustain the kind of pressure they've been putting on here in the third quarter and the last part of the second, why they need Level in that game.
Joe Bryant, now Wally Walker, and Caldwell Jones.
They're leaving Jones alone outside. That's why the spread offense, which they went to there, simply doesn't work, because they bring Caldwell high on it, and Caldwell, whoever's man he's guarding, in this case McHale, just leaves him alone and sits in the middle and waits for Caldwell to come to him, which he does. In this case, he picks up the foul. McHale's third.
Okay, in the last 5.5 minutes of the first half and the first 3 minutes of the second half, the Celtics have really been on a tear. They've outscored Houston as Caldwell Jones is at the line. All right, that is the 5th Houston point in the last 8.5 minutes, while the Celtics went from 23 to 53. So it's a 30-5 surge by the Celtics as Caldwell doesn't get it. McHale was in the lane, a lane violation, one more shot for Caldwell Jones. Anyway, at this point, over the last 8.5 minutes, the Celtics have outscored them 30-5.
Celtics shaking their heads, saying, boy, these guys need all the help the officials can give them. Very seldom do you see that call. And it doesn't help Caldwell. Anyway, he misses too. Well, what happens is Houston is capable of playing a good quarter, maybe a good half, but eventually, as I say, it catches up, especially when they face the kind of defensive pressure the Celtics have applied here in the last few minutes.
Bird on the miss and Elvin Hayes with a rebound to Allen Level. That's going to be one of the toughest things when you're a coach and you've got a team that you know is better physically than the team you're playing, and you find yourself down by 15, 16, 17 points, and you're unable to find the combination to get your people out there to get back in the ballgame. It's got to be maddening to try to figure out the right keys to insert in the lock.
Good play by Bryant. It is, except that it's nice to have you know, those kind of options. McHale, a couple of bad shots the last time down. A little past his range. Bird forced that last one up from the corner there a little quickly. Still a little early to go back to the quick offense of the team.
Bryant really into trouble when he ran into Bradley. Now Walker left open. Miss and McHale the rebound. The steal by Caldwell. The block by McHale. He's had 3 block shots in this game.
Tiny waiting for the play to develop.
Bird kicks it into McHale. Tiny foul line. In and out. Celtics not crashing the boards here in the last couple of minutes either.
They've let down a little bit. Yep. A little showtime with the between the legs pass and the 2 quick shots. Still got a long way to go.
Archibald's playing defense, and Level takes a very bad shot. Ahead to Maxwell. They're 2-on-1. Cedric hitting Archibald. Tiny's got to regroup.
Tiny balances his floor. Lets the rest of the green shirts come down.
Bird all the way in on the miss, but was fouled.
I'll tell you, when he gets up that head of steam and extends that way, something good is going to happen to the Celtics. He's either got to pick up the foul. The last time you saw him dunk it from way out, the long steps. That time he picks up the foul on Hayes.
His third. And Houston's second as a team here in the third quarter. We've played 5 minutes. 7:07 left to go in the third quarter. The Celtics leading by 3, 53-50. Larry makes it 54-50. So that's a 31-5 surge by the Celtics in the last 10.5 minutes of play. 5.5 minutes in the first half and the first 5 minutes of the second half. 30-5. make it actually now 32-5. And only one basket, by the way. The 2 points they got was, James Bailey's 2 free throws and a free throw by Jones. But the only hoop, there's another one, Wally Walker. Good defensive play by Joe Bryant.
I think he caught him for punching the ball. Not a lot of you with a closed fist. Good call by Wally Rooney. Haven't seen that call. Because it's seldom that you'll see a player punch it that way. Tiny tries to catch Bird breaking down floor. Well, it looked like his hand was open there, but Wally Jones maintained that he had the closed fist. Not a lot of punching.
55-52 is our score right now. 6:40 to go, third quarter. Bird trying to work it inside. McHale ends up picking up the loose ball and burying the turnover.
A little accidental offense there, but the Celtics will take it. Celtics just getting a little loose again, if you notice with their passing.
Whoa! What do we have here?
Bradley and Bryant going at it. As we told you in the first game, in case you missed it, Bryant and Bird went at it. Bryant trying to take Bradley inside, so boys doing a little wrestling in there.
It is level. Bryant, Jones, Bailey now in replacing Hayes, and the steal by the Celtics along with Walker for Houston. Beautiful pass. Oh, fine defensive play by Caldwell Jones.
Bradley took off a little soon, brought it to him. Caldwell swatted it away. Good job. Caldwell does that extremely well.
Bird will put it in play for the Celtics with 18 seconds on the shot clock. They get it into Maxwell, trying to work on Bailey. Cedric with the jump hook, no, and the rebound to Walker.
Good job defensively by Bailey that time. Walker's the guy you got to watch. He's a good shooter. He gets down court quickly.
Rockets back within 3 at 57-54. 5:40 to go, third quarter. We'll be on the air Friday night from San Antonio and Saturday night from Dallas. Bird on the miss. Maxwell on the offensive rebound was being held by James Bailey. Friday night, when we go on the air, we're liable to melt the microphones because we plan to hit every single Mexican restaurant that we can possibly find in San Antonio while we're there.
That should be a good ball game, by the way.
Yes,
San Antonio's playing good basketball.
And so is Dallas on Saturday.
Yeah.
Charles, block, McHale, 2.
Well, old Kevin, Johnny on the spot again. Charles he's forgetting that Caldwell Jones is under there, and Bailey can reject as well. He's taking off too soon, and he's floating in right to the big man's face.
Offensive foul called on Houston on Wally Walker, and now Walker and sparked the Celtics into what is now a 5-point lead. Bradley trying to go on Walker after posting him up, and Walker fouled him.
Right back low inside. Usually when a guy loses his cool like way on one end, you know, he'll try to retaliate.
Maxwell trying to go around Level, and Level was called for blocking. That is the 5th team foul on Houston. No one had heard of them. McHale's 4th block shot. They were such an entertaining team to watch, and they just got beat by Marquette in that year. Marquette ended up winning the whole thing. Harry Teagle, the rookie from Baylor, makes it 62-56. Celtics lead is down to 6 points with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. They've come all the way back from a 17-point deficit. Nice defensive play by Caldwell Jones. Caldwell certainly has not lost any of his skills here in Houston. Still a fine player.
He'll do the job defensively for you. And rebounding because of his size. Wow.
Another block.
The
steal by Bird. Yes. And Tiny Archibald deals it back off to Larry Bird, who gets the hoop.
Step through the 2 Celtic players. Bird just catches him from behind, flips it away down to Bird. The Tiny reciprocated, gave it back.
Celtics now leading by 8 points. That's their biggest lead of the game. A nice feed. Nice feed for the rookie, 64-58. Bird, now McHale, foul line. Maxwell hit the deck. Rick Roby getting set to check in. Wally Walker into Bailey.
Bill Fitch's pot, because with the two rookies in there, Teagle and Taylor. I think they have to match their enthusiasm.
Max gets the rebound, misses the shot. And here comes Jeff Taylor.
Absorbs a lot of punishment on that play, but doesn't come out of there or anything.
This is the rookie Jeff Taylor from Texas Tech. And this is Taylor on the miss. Charles Bailey went trying to come in for the stop. See that?
Bobby just gives him a little shove cut.
With Ainge on him. And Buckner is on the rookie Teagle, the other rookie. Walker out to James Bailey. James on the miss. Bird with his 15th rebound. Celtics are 4 on 2. Ainge, the pull-up baseline, buried. Third quarter with 1:40 to go. Boston leading by 6. Caldwell Jones. Walker.
Points here in the third quarter. 11 for the game. He's a shooter. Nice soft touch from outside. Won't hurt you too much in.
Feed off to Maxwell for the jump hook and 2.
I'll tell you.
That was pretty.
Max.
Taylor, who has been a pleasant find for the Rockets. And 2 by Terry Teagle.
Teagle moving extremely well without the ball. Got himself a couple of hoops. The last one through the middle and along the base.
Bird trying to dish it off to Maxwell. Taylor the steal. Oh, he's quick. He is very quick. It's 68-64. The Celtics leading by 4 with 42 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Taylor, and now Teagle, a 4th team foul, so Houston is not in a shooting situation. Ainge with the ball with 6 seconds to go in the quarter. Enough time. Ainge behind the back, lost it. Teagle, the shot is not off in time.
Can create a little daylight here if they stay solid defensively and run their good percentage offense.
Hard work by Roby to get a good shot off. The loose ball is picked up. It is Taylor, Walker, Jones, Bailey on the floor for Houston. The steal by Buckner.
Ainge and Buckner are going to have to stay alert.
There's a kid that can shoot. Terry Teagle, outstanding college shooter, and he brings the Houston Rockets to within 2. They've got Taylor and Teagle at the guards with Jones at center, Bailey and Walker the forward. The Celtics with Buckner and Ainge at the guards, Roby in the middle, Carr and McHale up front. They get it inside to Rick Roby, who travels with it.
Houston's working too hard at it for the Celtics to blow it away, I think.
In Caldwell Jones from the corner on the miss, and Walker the rebound. Teagle, nice, very nice game warning against Houston.
To try to keep Teagle away from the ball for a while. He's got the hot hands and he wants the offense. Kid who can shoot, doesn't matter whether he's a rook or not.
McHale on the miss, Roby slapping it outside, but Taylor picks it up. Rockets with a chance to go ahead now. They've come out smoking here in the fourth quarter. Teagle over Ainge, does not get it. McHale the rebound. Celtics haven't scored yet in the fourth quarter. They've played 2 minutes. Ainge's pull-up jumper.
That's the time for that kind of a play.
Taylor back.
Not to stay solid offensively, especially when the game opens up this way. Look for your break baskets, but don't take the quick outside one.
Roby, nice play defensively, slapping the ball away. ML on the drive. Celtics lead by 2. Hold it.
2-on-1. As soon as he draws the D, he's got to lay it down. The D stays with him. So all he's got to do is lay it down to...
They've worked hard. Caldwell Jones. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Now Bailey. Did not hit the iron with it. Celtics come back. Buckner looping it off to McHale. Blocked. Roby gets the loose ball.
I think Bill better change his offensive lineup in there. Out there, they really look sloppy. They simply don't know what they're supposed to be trying to get done.
Left-handed shot by Buckner. Blocked by McHale. That's his 5th block shot of the game. Saved by Roby and knocked up the Utah Jazz. He has 5 tonight. Now has 80 on the season.
He's been outstanding. He came into the game 7th in the league in block shots. Almost 3 again.
ML Off-balance jumper.
I believe
Trying to guide it in. The shot
simply doesn't make much sense. McHale almost takes him off the hook.
About scored the Celtics 6-0 in the fourth
deserve
quarter.
to be leading at this point. They've so far in the last quarter played pretty well.
Certainly have. Robert Parrish unavailable to play tonight because of bad back spasms. The miss by Buckner.
Side shot.
Well, in 4 minutes and 15 seconds of this quarter, the Celtics have not scored a point. Larry Bird coming back in along with Cedric Maxwell. Celtics trailing 70-68. McHale gets 2, ties the game.
I'll tell you,
Breaks it.
Hale's been a horse, hasn't he?
Yes, sir.
Done a fine job off the defensive board. Handful of rejects. Picked himself up about 18 points so far tonight.
Eagle and now Caldwell Jones, and they go to James Bailey. And a nice
letting him get to the basket with that step of his.
Ainge keeps the ball in play. Carr. Celtics right now, offensively, Bob, looking very disorganized. Carr to the basket.
Celtics are just making it up as they go along now. Man steps in. Could have gone either. He's taking advantage of it. He's strong. He jumps well, and he finds the openings with or without the ball tonight.
Bird and Maxwell are in for the Celtics now, replacing Roby and Carr. Bryant loses the ball right into the hands of Maxwell, ahead to Quinn Buckner. Quinn dishing off to Maxwell, and he ran right by it.
Maxwell is inside, but he's a quicker man. If he, I guess he just
4:70, 6:15 left.
He just misunderstood what Max was going to do.
All right, Celtics down by 4. They let themselves get down by 17 in the first half, and a foul is called there. Look at that.
Buckner comes up and sets a pick on Bryant, and they just tangle him.
Dancing around. All right, Buckner takes a jumper. No. Celtics are down by 6 with 5.5 minutes to go. They seem to have things going their way and getting under control in the third quarter. But Houston has come back with a vengeance. Bird fills it up. 76-72 Houston. There's your time remaining. Tiny Harrison traveling. McHale off to Ainge. The Celtics are up with 3-on-2. Ainge all the way. No. Rebound Bird. Trying to go back up.
Ainge takes it in himself and does a good job getting it in there, but can't quite control it. Bird keeps it alive. Was it Teagle that got him?
Game. Bird kicks it inside to Maxwell, who brings the Celtics to within 2.
Obviously, still plenty of time.
Oh, sure.
The guards have got to play a little basketball. These are the 2 kids that you play.
Teagle with Bradley on him. And the ball is got to be the biggest guard in captivity. 6'9", 225 pounds. Teagle goes over Bradley, but Charles did a superlative defensive job. Bird ahead to Charles, and the Celtics tie it.
Beautiful lead pass by Bird.
All right, we're tied up now. They're going low to fall. A block by Bradley and a foul.
McHale, Bird goes for the steal, misses, and Caldwell wheels in. Had to
fix the play. You see the time on the screen.
They want to go to Max inside.
Gets 2.
And that's why.
Good place, Terry Teagle. The steal by Bradley. Here comes the Dunkaroo. Woo. Charles has really played a great.
I was going to say, if they come out of here with a win, here it is. Bradley just hangs it up. Ryan, hangs it up. Bradley does the rest. Good steal, good anticipation.
2-point lead, Boston. 3:10 left. Walker. Now Joe Bryant on the miss, and the rebound tip from McHale to Tiny Archibald.
They've got something on the other end if they get it down quickly.
Maxwell, jump hook, 2.
Well, that's what they had. Max.
There's Cedric Maxwell with a jump hook from about 8.
I think he's checking the time left.
All right. The Celtics, Bradley, Archibald, McHale, Maxwell, and Bird. Parrish has not played at all tonight. Back spasms. The steal by Bradley again. Scoring. Playing defense. Bad shot. Jeff Taylor hits an off-balance jumper to make it 82-80 with 2.5 minutes left.
Not much the Celtics could do about that. That was a good job. Tiny was right there. Had a lot of help. He still put it in.
Larry Bird.
Want to go inside to McHale. He's going to draw the double team if he puts it to the floor.
6 seconds on the shot clock. Bradley does not get the basket.
Well, looking for the opening, finds Bradley at the foul line. Brings it in quickly, and the whole slew of bodies.
2 minutes to go, 84-80. Walker, Jeff Taylor, gets it back outside to Joe Bryant. Walker again, partially blocked. Archibald left open at the foul line, misses it. Maxwell gets the rebound, and the Celtics have a fresh 24 seconds. Boston leading by 2 points, as Houston has given them a battle here tonight. Maxwell low with Bailey on him. Cedric missing the jump hook. Rebound in the game.
Celts got a little tentative there. They didn't go for the good shot. Rather, they went to run the clock down, and I think that affected the shot they eventually got.
Walker. Now Joe Bryant. Ball was stolen by Bird. He just reached out and slapped the ball away. Great defensive play. Archibald has fouled this.
There it is. Bryant brings it in. Bird simply reads the play beautifully, fakes at him, and then came into the middle. 14th foul, by the way, on this.
46 seconds left. The Celtics are up by 2. Maxwell is knocked to the floor. Look at it again.
Well, with Robert Parrish hurting, it wouldn't be the best thing for the Celtics.
This ball game tonight, Kevin performing miles ahead of himself in tonight's game. We're pleased to present him with Getty gift certificates. Take your cap off to Getty, and their
we helped out. Chipped in with 19 points, I believe.
2 big free throws here for Cedric Maxwell. 42 seconds left. Cedric has 16 points so far. Replacing Archibald and Max Moore. 1 more for Cedric Maxwell.
No pitch going for defense with Buckner. 42 seconds. They'll obviously go for the, I would think, the 3-pointer.
Level is in, replacing Joe Bryant.
So they go for the 3.
And the ball is out of seat.
Yeah, he's shooting 29% from out there. Evidently they're going to go. No, he's going to take it in.
Out to Bailey instead, and he buries it. Oh, we have 31 seconds to go, and the Celtics lead by 2. 86-84. The Celtics take a timeout with 26 seconds left. Yes, but you really can't.
Mr. Mendel getting him back. He did everything, really. He scored 12 points, rebounded well, defense.
All right, so we chose Charles Bradley as our Celtic Stop and Shop Player of the Game. Let's see if we certainly earned him our Stop and Shop Celtic Player of the Game award. So it was not a match. However, all right, Bird will put it in play, and Bird quickly calls another timeout because people were not breaking in the right direction. No one was there to get the...
I tell you, it doesn't give you too much. If you've got good pressure on that ball and good tight to your fastest player, or where you have an advantage. If you
fans here tonight, as you can see, and as you've seen the signs all over the place tonight, we'd like to remind you that Eyewitness News Nightcast with Jack Williams and Catherine Killing. All right, Bird to inbounds, gets it to Tiny Archie.
That's where they went to. Short pass to the speed. Now Tiny's going to hold and just wait for the foul.
20 seconds left in the game. The Celtics leading by 2 points. There you see the time clicking off at the top of your screen. Bird whips it inside to Buckner. Great feed, and Buckner hits the big hoop with 9 seconds to go.
Rather than a foul, I'm surprised they didn't go for the ball or try to trap a little sooner than that. Allowed the Celtics to run that much off the clock. Bird draws the double team. Finds the open man, who happens to be Buckner. A little off-balance job off the board. And that, as we said, Harry Bird all took it.
We did our Stop and Shop Player of the Game earlier, and Level. Charles was our Player of the Game. Level, 3-point shooter. Now Walker, who can also shoot from that range, gets it. Seconds to go. They get it to Bradley, now to McHale, and the Bird. Ball game. Celtics win by 1. Holy Toledo.
And they'll take it, let me tell you.
Wally Walker nailed a 3-pointer to make it 88-87 with 3 seconds left, and the Celtics just tossed the ball around like a hot potato over the last 3 seconds to ensure the victory. So they came out of this San Antonio in San Antonio, Texas. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Miller High Life, the best beer for the best time of the day. Welcome to Miller Time. By New England Telephone, a call could keep you closer. By your local McDonald's restaurant. Start your day off right with breakfast at McDonald's. You deserve a break today at McDonald's. By Stop and Shop Supermarkets. It's time to stop and shop. By Nissan and your New England area Datsun Dealers Association, they're driven to save you money. By Bank of Boston, the most prominent family of banks in Massachusetts. Tonight's game was produced and directed by Don Larrick. Our associate director was Charlie Thanis. Production assistance is provided by the Hughes Television Network. Once again, the final score from the Summit in Hughes.